Must-see chocolate museums on the Camino. This is a sweet one. Stick around and let's explore the chocolate of Spain. There are a lot of fascinating things to see on the Caminos, including churches, cathedrals, Roman ruins, museums, monuments, and the list goes on and on. One of my favorite places to visit, the chocolate museums and the factories. There are actually many along various Caminos. I did a Google search and I learned that there are over 150 in Spain. There are too many to cover in this video, but I'm going to focus on 3 of my favorites. But first, we need to explore the relationship between Spain and that beautiful dark brown elixir we call chocolate. Spain was actually the country that introduced it to the Western world. It was during the 16th century that the Spanish explorers to the New World first encountered it. The Aztecs and Mayans had been consuming chocolate for centuries, using the cacao beans to create a bitter, frothy drink that was reserved for the elite. The Spanish quickly fell in love with this new delicacy and began to experiment with different ways to prepare it and consume it. As chocolate became more popular in Spain, it began to play a significant role in the country's culture and traditions. Chocolate was often served at special occasions, such as weddings and religious festivals, and it quickly became a favorite treat among the Spanish elite. By the 17th century, chocolate houses had sprung up across not only Spain, but all of Western Europe. These places were not only a space where people could enjoy a cup of the sweet beverage, but also a social gathering house to visit. Now that we understand the historical importance chocolate has had in Spain, the number of chocolate museums across the country makes sense. Chocolate factories could be set up in any location where the cacao bean could be transported. The coastal cities of Portugal were the primary routes for distribution. Hence, the fantastic chocolate museums you find on the Camino Portuguese in Porto and Viana do Castelo. But central Spain was where most of the factories were located. On to the museums. Let's start in Porto, deep in the heart of the port wine cellars area. What was once, only a few years ago, just a bunch of old abandoned port wine warehouses has been totally renovated and is now the WOW Cultural District. That's WOW, W-O-W, and it stands for World of Wine. The area contains 7 museums, 12 restaurants and bars, a few shops, and a wine school, and also a gallery for temporary exhibitions of international importance. It's in this complex that you'll find the chocolate experience. You'll begin with exhibits explaining the history of chocolate, how it's farmed, how it's shipped, and then how it's transformed into the product that we all know and love. You'll also learn of the methods of packaging and advertising the product to a worldwide market. Lastly, on the tour, you'll get to see a factory in action. Every step is explained in this tour, from the roasting of the beans to processing them into the various varieties to packaging them. Then, the moment everyone anticipates, the tasting. You're guided through a tasting of all the various types of chocolate that they produce. Of course, as you exit the museum, there's a gift shop where you can purchase the type of chocolate that you enjoyed the most. I recommend that you purchase them, then cross the courtyard to the wine terrace and enjoy your chocolate with a glass of wine as you look over the harbor. It's a lovely way to spend a late afternoon. Next, let's head north along the coastal route of the Camino Portuguese to Viana do Castelo, which is about 4 to 6 walking days from Porto. As you approach the town, you're welcomed by the mountain Monte de Santa Luzia, and atop that, a very impressive cathedral. It's important to climb the mountain and visit it, but after that, I like to head to the heart of the old town and visit the Chocolate Museum and Factory. As with most of the chocolate museums on the Caminos, the tour begins with a history of chocolate on the Iberian Peninsula and the important role it's played in the culture, the society, businesses, and enjoyment. What is different about this establishment, other than the exceptional chocolate product, is that within the building complex, there's a lovely hotel and spa. Yep, a chocolate spa. Fábrica do Chocolate is a hotel, a museum, a shop, a chocolate therapy spa, and an escape room totally dedicated to chocolate. It's a small hotel with only 18 rooms, but each is dedicated to a different chocolate experience. In the bathrooms, the guests will find themed amenities at their disposal that include a soap that looks like a square of chocolate, shower gel, shampoo, and moisturizing cream with chocolate aroma as well. Chocolate air freshener throughout the hotel and rooms ensures that you get the full effect of chocolate. And the breakfast? How about bread and pastries with chocolate, hot cocoa coffee, and an irresistible chocolate fondue? You can get the regular stuff also, but the chocolate is so good. If you began your Camino in Porto, you're ready for a day of indulgence. Yes, you deserve it. And what better way to indulge than a day of chocolate, chocolate, and more chocolate? My third recommendation for a chocolate visit is in Astoria. If you're walking the Camino Francés, about halfway between Lyon and Ponferrada is Astoria. The museum can be tricky to find, but the search is worth it. The museum occupies 2 floors of the building, which originally was the home and factory of the chocolatier D. Magin Rubio. As you walk through the front door, the area is decorated as a recreation of an old chocolate shop. Off to the side of this main front room is the tasting area where the tour will eventually end. Leaving the reception area, you will first enter an area that exhibits a wide range of curious historical pieces related to chocolate and advertising, as well as items to package and display the chocolates. The tour winds through the 2 floors of the house and factory by providing information and items related to the origins of cocoa and the chocolate. Many of the exhibits are displayed using an interactive instructional approach, so it's a lot of fun to explore. The visit ends by returning to the ground floor where you began the tour. This is where you will do a guided tasting of all the chocolates. Once again, I recommend you purchase some of the chocolate you liked the best. Go find a wine terrace in the historic center of Astoria and enjoy some chocolate with your afternoon wine. Time for music, and I'm really excited to share this selection with you. This one is perfect for this chocolate theme. In 1892, the Russian composer Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky composed the music for the ballet The Nutcracker, which I'm sure we're all familiar with. In the second act, The Land of the Sweets, Clara and the Prince are entertained by a performance of the dolls from around the world. The dancers from Arabia portray a coffee theme. The dancers from China, a tea theme. The dancers from Russia, candy canes. The dancers from Spain, yep, you've guessed it, their theme is chocolate. Here's my arrangement of that selection for 6 French horns.